Alrighty, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to a brand new video for this week. So anyway, this week is something a little bit special that I've been planning to do for a while, and it's how does drinking affect you playing Rocket League? So let's break down the basic idea before we actually jump into the video. I'm going to play 5 games at 3 different levels. 1 being no alcohol consumption, 2 being slightly buzzed, and then 3 being buzzed. So there'll be a total of 15 games. Now, you may not think that's a very big, significant test, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take not just the average win and losses from each and plot them on a plot. I'm going to take the average score from each game, assist, saves, all of the stuff you can get from the scoreboard. And then I'm going to figure out statistically if there was a difference performing a t-test between the games, if there is a significant difference between how you play Rocket League when you are totally sober versus when you are intoxicated. Alrighty, for this experiment, I mentioned that I was going to be doing statistics for this, and let me just tell you what the statistics were. So out of the first 5 that I played, which was the control group, my MMR was 1193 to begin, and to end, it was 1203. So we increased in exactly 10 elo, which was a 3-win streak, which was 3 games winning and 2 games lost. Now, since I wanted to keep this a little bit short as the control, I wanted to just go over an average of everything. So my average score throughout all of the first 5 games was about 181 points per match, which did seem a little bit low. My average goals per game was about 1.4 goals per game. My average assist was 0.4 per game, and my average saves was about 1 per game. Now if we move into the shot percentage, so I took each individual shot percentage from each game, and I found what it was, and then I added all of them together as whole numbers, and then divided by 5 to get my average shot percentage, which my average shot percentage for the control group was 43.12%. So before we went on, I just wanted to say a little bit of things here. So I did do all of this in one recording, but at the Champ 1 level where we are, it seems very, very inconsistent, because sometimes you get good and sometimes you get bad, but I tried to do everything I could to make it the most accurate as possible. Alrighty, I also just wanted to make a quick note that all of this in this video was used for educational purposes. Nobody was harmed, and I am old enough to drink, so I just want to give everybody a little heads up. I wouldn't recommend drinking for anybody. Just make sure that you know the risk associated and that you guys are safe if you guys do. Alrighty, for control group 1, we had a MMR beginning of 1203 or 1273, and then an MMR end of 240, which is a 26 elo loss, as we won 1 game and lost 4. And I should say that this control group 1 was equal to about 50, so that is about 25% of a cup of just straight right there. So now let's jump into the average score. So our average score actually increased per game, which was pretty interesting that it went up to 237.4. Our goals per game average was 0.2, our assist was 0.4, our saves went up to 1.4, and our shots went to 1.6. And then our average shooting percentage for this one was only about 20%. Now, however, I did try to, before I ran the T-score, I did try to adjust this a little bit, mainly because this group wasn't just me playing bad or anything else. It was just solo matchmaking, and there's a little bit of bias in that, so I think next time there'd need to be a larger sample size to really show the difference. Alrighty guys, and for the third group, which was the second test group, it was 750 milliliters of wine at 14%, so give or take about 106 milliliters so of alcohol, which is over 52%. So I figured we could just go over this information and then figure it out. Alrighty, so let's start with this one. So we won every game, all 5 games, and we went up 9 elo points each time, so we went up about 45 elo points for this, and this was being supposed to have been the hardest to win. And so let's just start off with score. My average score per game was 364, which, I mean, that is a huge span. That's over 120 jump from the Control 1, which I increased from. My average goals per game was 0.8. My average assist was 0.8 per game, and my average saves was 1.6 per game, so that just continued to go up all the way through. My shots was averaged at 2.4 per game, and my average shooting percentage for this control group was 40.6. Alrighty, for this section I figured I would just make a spreadsheet and then put it in, since I did use another spreadsheet, but this is what I came up with on the averages. So I just had to type this one in because I did my other one on my laptop, which I don't have anything to record audio with. So the total average isn't just that, this is a weighted total average of all 15 games, weighted total average of all 15 games, weighted total average, and so on. So I think that when I ran my probability, my T-score, so I ran my T-test significance, and I just transferred it over, sorry about that whole thing, and I got 0.0851. So I'll just explain something to you. If 0.05, if it is greater than that, it is a significant change greater than 5%. That's just a standard statistics rule. So there actually was a significant difference in how I played throughout the entire things. Now, I also took the liberty of making another workbook that I weighted the average of each of my individual performances, and then I took it and put it into each one. So although each of these different categories that I show you may be different, I scored myself slightly different on each one, but it actually proved to be weird that the way I performed best, according to this score, was in test group 2, which was when I was drunk, 750 milliliters of wine consumed. And it's pretty interesting because that's a very weird coincidence. So I think the biggest thing that makes it bias is the test group size. So there was a small gap between test group 1 and test group 2 of about an hour or so, because I do tend to Zoom class between those two when I recorded the two separate ones. So I think that could be the one, is that I just came back refreshed, rejuvenized, ready to play, and always taking a break does help. So I think that in the future I would like to do this again to see what the significance is But I'd say overall, the significance level did give me say that I was significant, which could be true, could be false. But I would say that the biggest bias that made it significant was Test Group 1, and that was purely due to matchmaking. Since I couldn't find any West servers, I had to search East servers, and then we just had the whole fiasco of we had some people AFK and just smurfing. Well, I guess not smurfing, carrying. So yeah. But anyway, that is my data, and that is what I came up with. So anyway, guys, I sure hope you did enjoy this type of video. If you did, let me know, and I would love to do another one. I'd love to do like a significant score on it again and do it a little bit more in depth, do a few more games, and maybe do like a car control and stuff like that. But let me know what you guys think. And anyway, thank you guys for bearing with me through this whole charade, and I appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you later. Peace.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back.
Please.